What happens when a beloved actress, known for her quick wit and charm, steps onto a stage where the host thrives on unearthing secrets? And what if that guest carries a truth too raw to share under the glare of studio lights? The studio buzzed with the polished hum of a live morning show, sunlight filtering through frosted windows onto a set designed for cozy confrontation. Plush armchairs in deep blues and golds flanked a low coffee table cluttered with branded mugs steaming with untouched lattes, while overhead lights cast a warm glow on the curved desk where the host perched like a queen on her throne. The audience, a sea of eager faces and tiered seats, rippled with murmurs and flashes from phone screens, the air thick with the scent of fresh coffee and anticipation. Anna Kendrick entered from stage left, her stride confident yet measured, dressed in a tailored black blazer over a simple white blouse and jeans that screamed effortless Hollywood. Her dark hair fell in loose waves, framing a face with flawless makeup, eyes lined sharp, lips a subtle red, but there was a tightness in her jaw, like a fuse quietly burning beneath the surface smile she flashed at the cheering crowd. She waved, her movements fluid, yet her eyes darted briefly to the exit doors, a contradictory flicker of vulnerability amid the poise. Joy Behar leaned forward from her chair, microphone in hand, her signature red glasses perched on her nose as she beamed with that trademark mix of warmth and mischief. "Anna, welcome to the show! You've been lighting up screens with your new film. Tell us, what's it like playing a character who's all about hiding her past?" Anna settled into the opposite seat, crossing her legs smoothly. "It's liberating, Joy. Sometimes, burying the past is the only way to move forward, until someone digs it up, right?" Her voice was light, but there was an edge, like velvet over steel, hinting at the ideological line in the sand, the sanctity of personal privacy versus the insatiable hunger of public platforms. The conversation flowed easily at first, Joy nodding along as Anna described the film's plot twists and her co-star's antics on set. The audience laughed at her self-deprecating jokes, the energy buoyant. But Joy's eyes sparkled with intent, her motivation clear. Ratings loved a good peel back of the celebrity facade, especially with a guest like Anna, whose real-life candor had always teased at deeper layers without fully revealing them. But Joy wasn't one to stop at the surface. As the segment progressed, Joy steered towards safer waters, Anna's rise in comedy, her love for musicals. "You've got that pitch-perfect magic. Fans adore you for being so relatable. But let's talk real life. Rumors swirl about your personal world these days. Care to set the record straight?" Anna's smile held, but her fingers tightened on the armrest. "Joy, I appreciate the curiosity, but some things are mine to keep. The film's about boundaries, after all." The secondary host, a younger co-panelist named Mia, chimed in with a murmur. "Absolutely, privacy matters." Trying to defuse, but Joy waved it off with a chuckle. Light audience laughter, fading into murmurs. The producer in the control booth paced, earpiece buzzing. "Keep it light, Joy," came the whisper, but Joy ignored it, her grudge, not personal, but ideological, pushing her to probe. She believed in truth over optics, that stars owed their platforms a slice of authenticity. "Come on, Anna, we're all friends here. That ex of yours, word is it ended messy. Fans want to know, was it the pressure of fame?" Anna's eyes narrowed slightly, her response measured. "Fame's a beast, but my story isn't fodder for ratings. Let's stick to the work." The audience shifted, a few phones rising to capture the moment, whispers growing. Tension coiled as Joy pressed on, her charisma turning sharp. "But isn't that the deal? You step into the spotlight, we get a peek behind the curtain." Anna leaned back, her vulnerability peeking through, a brief glance at the tally light blinking red. "The curtain's there for a reason, Joy. Not everything's for show." Mia interjected again. "Maybe we pivot to audience questions?" But the crowd's energy amplified, a mix of applause for Anna's stand and murmurs of intrigue. And then Joy asked the question that crossed the line. The pivot came swift, Joy's voice dropping to a conspiratorial tone. "All right, fine. But what about that family secret everyone's whispering about? Your book hinted at it, abandonment issues, right? How does that play into your roles?" Anna's breath caught, the air in the studio thickening. This wasn't about the film anymore. It was personal, dredging up a fictionalized past of loss that Anna had guarded fiercely. Joy, that's not up for discussion. My family's off limits. Her tone sharpened, revealing the fierce protector beneath the charm. The audience gasped softly, the murmurs turning to a low buzz, phones now blatantly recording. Joy leaned in, undeterred, her bias for spectacle shining. But Anna, sharing heels. Think of the viewers who've been through it. The producer's voice crackled in Joy's ear. Ease off! But Joy pushed. Come on, give us something real. Anna's eyes flashed, her values crystallizing, dignity over disclosure, respect for one's inner world. She glanced at Mia, who nodded subtly, attempting to mediate. Joy, maybe we respect that. But the host doubled down. Or is it just optics? Afraid it'll tarnish the brand? The escalation built like a storm, short sentences snapping in the exchange. No. Why not? Because it's mine. The audience reacted, applause clashing with boos, energy crackling. Rising murmurs, a phone ding echoing. Anna's hands clenched, her layered vulnerability turning to resolve. She wasn't a caricature of fragility. She was steel wrapped in empathy, her reactions echoing a deeper moral, the cost of turning pain into entertainment. What she did next would shatter the facade. As the segment hit its midpoint, Joy circled back, her grudge now personal in the heat. Fine, but let's talk money. That lawsuit rumor, did it drain you? Fans deserve transparency. Anna's face hardened, the personal attack landing like a punch. Joy, this isn't journalism, it's ambush. The co-host Mia murmured. Let's take a break. But the producer in the booth froze, sensing viral gold. Audience phones were up en masse, the sea of faces a mix of shock and thrill. Anna stood slowly, her movement deliberate, ripping the mic from her lapel with a sharp tug. Tally light blinks erratically. The studio fell silent, Joy's eyes widening. Anna, wait. But Anna turned to the camera, her voice steady, pronouncing the sentence that would ignite everything. If this is what fame demands, then count me out. She slammed the mic on the table, the thud echoing, and stormed toward the exit, the audience erupting in chaos. But as the doors swung shut behind her, the real storm was just beginning. The control room exploded with shouts. Cut to commercial! As producers scrambled, Joy sitting stunned, her charisma cracked. The audience murmured wildly, applause mixing with outrage, phones capturing every angle. Backstage, Anna paused in the dim hallway, her breath ragged, the weight of her decisive action sinking in. She had drawn the line, but at what cost? The moral hung in the air. Privacy wasn't a luxury. It was a right, even under the relentless gaze of spectacle. Yet the cliffhanger loomed. Joy's show wasn't done, and neither was the fallout. As Anna's phone buzzed with incoming alerts, the world outside the studio began to react, feeds lighting up with clips of her stand. Would dignity prevail, or would the machine of media crush it? The tension peaked, unresolved, compelling the next chapter. The studio doors slammed shut behind Anna Kendrick, leaving a stunned silence that shattered into a cacophony of audience murmurs and flashing phone screens. What happens when a star walks out on live TV, defying the unspoken rules of fame? The hallway backstage was dim, a stark contrast to the blinding studio lights, its concrete walls lined with cables and faded posters of past guests. Anna stood frozen, her breath shallow, the weight of her mic slamming exit sinking in. Her phone vibrated relentlessly in her pocket. Texts, alerts, a world already reacting. She pulled it out, the screen glowing with notifications. Anna Kendrick storms off Joy Behar's show! Screamed one headline, the clip already viral. Joy Behar, back on set, regained her composure, her red glasses glinting as she leaned into the camera with a practiced grin. Well, folks, that's live TV, never dull. Asphyx, forced audience laughter. But her eyes betrayed a flicker of unease, her ratings-driven bravado shaken. Mia, the co-host, jumped in. Let's take some audience questions. Trying to steer the ship, but the producer's voice hissed through her earpiece. Keep it trending, milk the drama. The audience buzzed, phones up, their energy a mix of thrill and judgment. But Anna wasn't done making her stand. Outside, Anna paced the studio's loading dock, the New York morning air sharp against her flushed skin. Her blazer felt too tight now, the weight of her decision heavier than the mic she tossed. A young production assistant, Tim, hovered nearby, clipboard clutched to his chest. "Ms. Kendrick, you okay?" That was bold. His voice was soft, almost reverent, but Anna waved him off, her vulnerability peeking through. "Bold or stupid, Tim? I just torched my image for a point." Her phone buzzed again, her agent. "Anna, call me now. This is a PR nightmare." She ignored it, her values anchoring her. Dignity wasn't negotiable, even if fame demanded blood. Back in the studio, Joy pivoted to damage control, her charisma masking a grudge now tinged with regret. "Let's talk about Anna's work. Her film's a masterpiece, right?" The audience clapped, but the energy was fractured, some whispering, "She was right." Others muttering, "Diva." Mia chimed in. "Respecting boundaries is key, Joy." Her micro-intervention sharp but ignored. The producer, sweating in the booth, barked, "Get a reaction clip for the feeds." As social media exploded with hashtag Anna walks out, hashtag Joy pushed too far. Then Anna's phone lit up with a message that changed everything. The text was from an old friend, a writer named Lena, who'd faced her own public crucible. "You did what I couldn't. Stay strong, they'll twist it." Anna's jaw tightened, the moral crystallizing. Spectacle thrived on tearing people down, but silence wasn't surrender. She typed a quick reply, then opened X, posting a single line. "Some lines aren't meant to be crossed." The post surged, retweets climbing into the thousands within minutes, fans rallying with, "We stand with Anna," while critics sneered, "Hollywood fragility." The fallout was instant, a digital storm no one could control. Back on set, Joy sensed the shift, her producer feeding her live updates. "She's trending, push back or we lose the narrative." Joy, ever the provocateur, leaned in. "Anna's talented, but walking out? That's a choice. What do you think, folks?" Mixed applause, boos. The audience was split, some cheering her name, others shouting for answers. Mia tried again. "Maybe we respect her space." But Joy's eyes gleamed, she thrived on the chaos, even as her bias for spectacle wavered under the weight of Anna's defiance. But the real blow came from outside the studio. Anna slipped into a waiting car, the driver glancing at her in the rearview mirror. "Rough morning, huh?" he said, his voice kind. She nodded, staring out at the city blurring past, her mind replaying the moment she'd stood up. The radio buzzed with a news snippet. "Anna Kendrick's dramatic exit from Joy Behar's show sparks debate. Privacy or publicity stunt?" Her phone rang. Her agent again, voice panicked. "Anna, networks are spinning this as arrogance. You need to respond." She hung up, her resolve hardening. She wasn't playing their game. The show cut to commercial, and in the control room, the producer slammed his headset down. "She's killing us on X. Her posts got more likes than our live feed." Joy, off camera, sipped her coffee, her face unreadable. "She's smarter than I thought," she muttered, a grudging respect creeping in. Mia, scrolling her phone, whispered, "People are with her, Joy. Maybe we went too far." The audience, still buzzing, shared clips faster than the crew could track, the moment now bigger than the show itself. And then Anna made a move no one saw coming. Anna pulled up X again, her fingers hovering. She typed a longer post. "I walked out because some things matter more than airtime. Privacy isn't weakness, it's mine to protect. Thanks for the support." She hit send, and the internet roared, celebrities chimed in, fans flooded with heart emojis, and pundits debated on cable news. The car radio flipped to a talk show. "Is Anna Kendrick a hero for boundaries or a spoiled star?" The driver chuckled. "They don't get it, do they?" Anna smiled faintly, her vulnerability now a quiet strength. Back at the studio, the show wrapped, Joy's closing monologue softer than usual. "We push, we prod, but maybe Anna's got a point, some lines are sacred." Joy's eyes softening. The audience clapped, subdued, some nodding. Mia leaned over, whispering, "That was big of you." But Joy's producer fumed backstage. "We're getting slammed online." The social fallout was undeniable. Anna's stand had shifted the narrative, forcing a reckoning about spectacle's cost. But the final twist was still to come. Hours later, Anna sat in a quiet cafe, her phone finally off. Tim, the assistant, had slipped her a note before she left. "You gave me courage to say no next time." She tucked it into her pocket, a small catharsis. Her agent's email arrived, calmer now. "You're trending as authentic. Networks want exclusives. Your call." Anna leaned back, sipping her coffee, the city's hum a backdrop to her thoughts. She'd paid a price, headlines, scrutiny, but she'd kept her core intact. The moral settled, dignity under pressure wasn't just possible, it was power. The world kept spinning, posts and counterposts lighting up feeds. Some called her a trailblazer, others a flashpoint for drama. Joy's show issued a tepid apology on X, but the conversation had moved beyond them. Anna's stand had sparked a broader question, one that lingered in comments and coffee shop debates. Where do we draw the line between public and private? Anna in the cafe, city lights twinkling through the window. Anna never returned to Joy's show, but her career didn't falter, it grew, rooted in a quiet authenticity that resonated. Joy, too, shifted, her questions softer in future episodes, a lesson learned. The audience, the world, kept watching, judging, but Anna's line held firm. Who was right? Was it Anna, guarding her truth, or Joy, chasing the raw pulse of spectacle? The question hung, unanswered, inviting the world to weigh in. Tell us below.